Hey folks, Brando here. And I just got a brand new turntable. I finally got all my stuff together and all my records and all my things in order, my affairs in order, and I can hang out here. It's great. Not the whole day, but by the time, 8:30 rolls around, I'm ready to bounce anyway. I got other things to do each night. So I'm sitting here playing my records. I've got about 300 of my favorite records. They're in these green sleeves, and I wrote with the names on them. Special. That I keep, that I love. They're my oldest and dearest records. There's some new ones. I still get new records. I'll come upon them. But I just pulled a stack out, and the first one is, look, Bat Dance by Prince. So we're going to listen to it. And I'm going to go through my box of nostalgia things. I'm only 6% through, and I've been sitting here for 20 minutes going through this stuff, folks. We got a live one. And that guy needs to get his muffler fixed. When I was a freshman in high school, for our orientation day, the very first day of going into high school, they had brought us all in to, it was like one of the very first things, like we checked in, and then they said, you got to go down and watch this presentation. And they got there, and it was like, the football players were there, and they did like a syncopated thing, trying to get us to, but they had already started the season and shit like in fucking June. So how are they trying to recruit kids? Maybe they're just showing off or whatever, but like they had the football team guys on the stage, and then they were presenting, then here are the swimmers, and here are the cheerleaders. And the cheerleaders came out, and they said, it's the summer of 89. This is so great. All the most beautiful girls in the school, the cheerleaders, and they did, like, the Fly Girls to Bat Dance. Like, 20 girls all gyrating and shit for the freshmen. It was unbelievable. So anyway, that was the first record that came up in my stack. And looking at it here, there's some good ones. I'm pretty stoked. Here's one without Ooh Waka Do Waka Day. That's a great one too. Because these are all of my favorite fucking songs. Pardon my language. I know there's some religious folks out there, and I'm sorry. I'm unfiltered, and I don't care. And you shouldn't care either, because we're all adults. So, the occasional swear word slips through. But when I'm around children, or I'm at the restaurant around the squares, just the general public, I either bottle it up, I still sing and stuff, but I will my mouth is not filthy. Otherwise, I'm sailor's mouth. Do you ever dance with the devil by the pale blue night? Whatever. So my entire life, I just changed my name. Legally changed my name. I did the whole process all by myself. As an adult, I got all my affairs in order. I went online and did the first thing. It was like $300. Then you had to do this other thing, and it was like $100. And this one needed to be printed. It was $80, and this needed printed for $70. And you need a new birth certificate times 2, so that's $39.99 times 2. But it was like it's $700 or something. But none of these documents are going to start rolling in until next fucking April or something. I don't know what government agencies are like rolling and what's not, but even just when you get married, it takes fucking 7 months or 8 months before all the documents are in order. So I will kind of forget about it by next summer once I can get to the DMV and get my new name. I picked it. It's still Brando, okay? It's Brando, Elvis, Gambos, Os, okay? Gambos, Os. I want to hear the Os out of you folks, okay? Brando, Gambos, Gambos. Say it loud and proud. I fucking love it. I'm a new person. But I started out as Brandon Michael Andexler. Named after Michael Brandon, who was an actor, and Brandon Cruz, who was also an actor. That's who I was named after. Brandon Cruz, by the way, became the new singer for the Dead Kennedys after they fired Jello Biafra. So that's cool. I want to meet that guy. And I'm fine. There are select people that call me Brandon. Even now. I introduced myself to Johnny as Brando. And yet, every time ever since, he's called me Brandon. And it irritates me. But at this point, it's endearing. Because he's the only one I let. I correct my mother. I said, you fucking name me, but I'm Brando. Phil gave me that. And I'm honoring his fucking memory. More than your extra fucking N's. Superfluous N's in my name. Which I don't need. But my last name is Andexler. Which is Welsh and Hungarian fucking combined. But we also have Guadalupe, Mexico in us, and German. And Spaniard. So Spanish, German, Welsh, Hungarian, and fucking Mexican in my bloodline. So it's a fucking mishmash. Doesn't mean anything. I prefer Perez. If I could do it, I would just be Brando Perez. Alright? That's my family name. So I'm okay with being a Perez. I would love it. I would love to be fucking Brando Perez. That would be great. It would honor my grandmother and my other side of the family. The non-German and Welsh and Hungarian side. Fuck Europe. I'm here from the old country, Guadalupe, Mexico, which is where they came from, and then they migrated up to San Antonio. Right? Emily's sister was named Guadalupe Perez. Okay, so we've got the Guadalupe. I love the fucking name Guadalupe. I would put that in my middle name. Now, if I could go back and I could probably edit or something, or just next year just go rechange my fucking name again and add Perez, add Guadalupe Perez, like Brando, Elvis, Guadalupe Perez, Gambos Perez. Gambos Perez! Perez Gambo! Whatever. But everybody in the fucking world, including every teacher and anybody of bureaucracy that ever has seen me or talked to me or wrote my name or fucking asked me, they call me Alexander. Fucking Alexander. And that's fine. I can see where the letters... There's not even a fucking L. Yeah, Alex, E-X, Ander. I guess, yeah. So, yeah, I can see where... And they say if you take a letter, the right beginning letter, anti-disestablishmentarianism. If you take A and N and mash up all of the fucking letters out of order, you will be able to read anti-disestablishmentarianism. Because that's how your brain fucking works. So I understand why people call me Alexander. But I hate that. My name is not fucking Alexander. It's a name that I fucking hate. It's Andexler. I just think it's a fucking lame name. I've got an X. No, not very many people. I don't have a Q, but I've got an X, and I'm losing my X, I'll just put X in the fucking Gambo, so I'll just put an X through the fucking O like I do now in my name. So fuck it. I still have that X. But there was a movie that came out like 20 years ago. Like 15 years ago. It was when Photoshop had just started. Right? And it was Alexander by Oliver Stone, starring Colin Farrell as Alexander the Great. And originally they had one gay scene in it because he was actually gay. They had one gay scene and then they had to recut it to make it family fucking friendly. And then they called that the director's cut. It was like the clean cut. You know, give me a break. But as soon as I saw that, it was like the poster was Alexander, Alexander, Alexander. So I Photoshopped my face onto the thing and fixed it, folks. I love this fucking thing. I haven't seen this in 5 years. Look at that. I Photoshopped my face onto Colin Farrell's head, and I renamed it, look, Andexler, the movie. I think that's fucking great. I sent this to my dad, and he loved it. He sent me ha 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 or whatever, you know, and that was 15 years ago. Starring Val Kilmer and Jared Leto and Angela. I liked this movie. I only saw it 2 times. I saw both versions. I had the DVD of the first one, and then I got the DVD of the director's cut, and the director's cut was like 13 minutes less than the other one. You know, it's usually like 48 minutes longer. Whatever, they just cut out all the gay shit. If they would have told me that, I could have just hit the fucking button on the chapter, you know, and boom, instant director's cut. Anyway, here is a saint on earth, and he is gone. His name is Richie Havens. A great man. I met him a bunch of times. He played at the Kent stage like 8 times. And the second or third time he came in, because he would come in to Spinmore and we would play records for him. He would say, hey, my friend is John-Luc Ponty. Can you dig out some of his records and play them for me for my keyboardist? We did that one time. I said, sure, Richie. I mean, sure, Mr. Havens. Of course I will play that for you. Let me show you right where it is. And he says, no, Brando. Call me Richie. One, he remembered my fucking name, and then he said, we're friends forever. You know, I said, Mr. Havens, yeah, I'm at your disposal. He said, no, Brando, call me Richie. That was so cool. The guy opened up for fucking Woodstock and came into Spinmore a bunch and fucking remembered my name. How unbelievable is that? And when he died, I wept like a fucking baby for like an hour that night. Because I had just gotten the Blu-ray of, literally, like that day or the day before, I had got the giant Blu-ray box set from Last Exit Books. It was like $50 or something. I said, here's 30, let me take it now and I'll give you the rest tomorrow or something. And Jason's so cool, he did. And then Havens died the next fucking day. So it's like I put that video on and just kept playing Handsome Johnny over and over and over and over, crying my fucking eyes out. He was so nice. I love that fucking guy. I have a picture of me with him. This is him inside of the Kent stage, hanging out before a show. But I have a picture, and I forget who was in here. This was somebody that I knew that was in the picture, and I don't care about that person. So I cropped it. It was Tom Simpson